watching Thrifty Kaniffy. Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, today we have something a little different than we've looked at in the past. This one, the Old Timer Heritage Series. This is brought to you guys by American Outdoor Brands for review today. And what do we got? We got Old Timer logo in a hexagon shape. D2 stainless steel blade. 2.4 inch clip point blade, 2 inch sheepsfoot blade, 1.7 inch pen blade. Generational guarantee. We've got the Heritage Series there. And we're looking at the Middleman Stockman. This is the 34OTH. The 34 is the pattern number, then Old Timer and Heritage. So, yeah. And then look at the back. Just some specs there. And the website information. Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, so got just a window packaging and hang style box. So what do we have inside? We had the 34OTH Heritage Middleman. So we've got this gray pakkawood style wood, just a laminate wood in gray. Nickel silver bolsters on either end, just plain, and then they put the hexagonal shield on this one instead of the oval cigar-shaped shield. Of course, the handle's different from the socket Delrin that you normally get in the standard series. Smooth transitions to the handle, and nice nickel silver pins and shield and bolster. Everything seems to be nicely smoothed out. The pins are nice and smooth. The shield is well inlaid. No stepping to the bolsters. You get a little bit of a swell here. You can see from the side that it tapers to a thickness in the middle and then tapers down on the ends towards the bolsters. So it kind of provides some good grip there. Feels good in the hand. Nice swell for your hand. And on the back, you get a really well matched material on the back. Same pakkawood in gray. Again, transitions are really nice and smooth. To the bolsters, pins I can't even feel. So good, little swell there in the middle. I like that. You also notice you'll have some brass liners here. And there might be just like a very minor gap. But boy, you have to look for it. Right here on the bottom right. Just a smidgen of a gap there, but very, very light. And springs are nice and smooth. They lay down flat with the liners. Everything's in sync there when the knife is in the closed position. Now, downward view of the blades. You can see that there's clearance with the middle blade to each side. So we're not going to have any blade rub. Just with the normal operation. Now you might get some push rub from that that front blade towards the sheepfoot, the little spey blade. Potentially could rub there, but you're going to have to try to avoid that if that's a big deal to you by pulling the sheepsfoot blade out first before you open it. Those that don't care, just scrape away and you'll probably be fine. But let's take a closer look at all these blades. We'll start with the main blade. Oh, by the way, this knife is 3 1/4 inches closed length. I don't want to forget to tell you that. Pretty important. But if you're familiar with the Middleman, this is the same size as all the standard Middleman. No difference there. But the main blade, of course, is a clip blade. And boy, do you have a nice pull on this blade. And just a guillotine of a snap on it. No half stops on this, but the walk and talk is just fantastic. Fantastic. Loving the pull on that. I'd say that's about a solid 8. So you get this mirror finished clip point blade. And there's a look at your nail nick. There's the blade edge. That looks to be pretty good. Again, these are D2 stainless steel. So you get a little bit of an upgrade over your standard 7CR17 in the standard old timers. And of course, 34OTH Middleman is a pattern. Is probably one of their more popular, best-selling or better-selling folding knives. Certainly see a ton of them on eBay. If that's any kind of indication of how many that were sold. So it's a very popular pattern. This medium Stockman. No swedging or anything like that. Just kind of has a nice rolled spine. And let's look at the tank stamp here. Looks like we just say old timer, and then we've got some sort of a date code there, I think, 0521. Something like that. And then we've got the model number on the back. It says 34OTH. And the blade steel D2. There's a look at the blade grind on this side. A little heavier maybe than the other side, but not too terribly bad. I've seen much worse, and it's not too terrible. Again, this knife, $30.68, a little more expensive than the standard lineup. Maybe about $10 to $15 more. But you're paying for the blade still. Let's take a closer look at the dimensions of that blade. So to the tang, you're looking at right at 2.5 inches, and then you got a cutting edge about a 2 1/8 of an inch. Again, really good pull on it. Say probably about an 8. Really good snap on the close and the walk and talk. All right, so let's look at the secondary blades. First thing I kind of noticed with the secondary blades is the blade stock is considerably thinner than the main blade, and you can kind of do the flex type thing with these blades. They're more like a fillet knife, sort of have that bend to them a little bit. But I'd imagine that would make these blades pretty slicey. Nice flat grind on there, and with that thin style steel there, probably ought to be pretty slicey little blades. You know, you don't have any kind of a tang there, but you do have the nail nick on this side. And there's a look at your blade edge. And we'll compare that to the other side. Pretty thin grind on it. Looks like it's pretty even. Yeah, let's do a little cut test with that blade. Looks like it's pretty slicey. Get the edge to start here. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty effective little slicing blade, sheepsfoot. Nice shape to it. Pretty similar to all the other 34OTs I've seen in terms of its shape. Again, no half stop. Now the pull on these aren't quite as firm as the main blade, but they're pretty good. I'd say about a 6. Still really good snap on the close. Solid open. Easy to get to the nail nick. And again, that's the middle blade. So let's do the measurement on that. Right at 2 inches. And then you got a cutting edge of about 1 1/8, or excuse me, 1 5/8. So pretty decent sized little sheepsfoot for a Stockman. All right, let's look at the final blade. So final blade's a spey blade. And again, I think that pulls about very similar to the sheepsfoot. Right in that. Maybe a little better actually. Probably about a 6 to 6.5. Yeah, I'd say about 6.5, and get really good snap on the close. Positive lockup. Nice little shaped pin blade. I like the shape of all these blades really. They've all been really nice. And there's your blade edge. Pretty thin like the sheepsfoot was. Again, smaller blade stock, little thinner than I think the standard knives have. A little more flex to it, but this being a shorter blade doesn't flex quite like the sheepsfoot does. Again, it feels slicey. I mean, I almost feel like I'm about to cut myself with that. So let's give this one a little cut test too. yeah, again, really, really sharp. Nice, easy to cut that, you know, just the flat grind and that very small edge there and the thin blade stock makes these little, very slicey little blades. So excellent little pocket knife here. I'm really enjoying all the things about it. You got nice pakkawood there, maybe not like the highest end wood material, but it's a change up from the saw cut Delver, and you get a little nicer shield in my opinion. I think the fit and finish is a little better. The edges are rounded off, you know, a little more refined. Feels better in the hand, and they've just kind of put it through its paces a little more, giving you a little higher end product here out of the box. And you should get a little better knife for $30.68. I'm just really loving that snap on that main blade. Again, when you look at that clip point blade, pretty attractive blade shape. So, yeah, old timer heritage Middleman. Now, I've got the other Middleman already, but nothing with blade steel and D2 like this. So, a little bit of an upgrade. If you're one of those people that don't like to sharpen their knives quite so often, this might be a really good option for you guys. Spend a little more, get a little better blade steel, a little more blade endurance. So might go longer between sharpens, but I like it, and I think it's a good series. Sort of a little higher end series from Old Timer rather than just the same old. But that's going to do it for my review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. We'll see you next time. Take care.